There was a time when Beats were the trendiest headphones one could ever have. Beats was not only a premium headphone, but also a premium fashion accessory. Celebrities, singers, rappers, and sports icons all had a pair of Beats headphones. Because of the premium price of Beats, anyone who couldn't purchase an original pair at least wanted a pair of fake Beats because Beats were that popular. But do you think this popularity of Beats was because of its sound quality? Not really though. But what has really happened to Beats now? Because today, Beats headphones are very hard to see. What's the reason behind this? Right, let's see in this video how once a tech giant has become a very silent company today. This story is about Beats headphones. This is the real reason behind their downfall. Headphones are an accessory that we frequently use in our day-to-day lives. With the content boom that has taken up in the world, headphones have already become a necessity for us. When traveling, exercising, working, gaming, relaxing, or watching a video to get motivated, we can get an immersive experience of that content by using a pair of headphones. But in the early days, headphones were used primarily by only two parties. One of them were people in the military. Others were professional sound designers. However, the initial trend for these consumer headphones started between 1970 and 1980 with the introduction of portable cassette players, CD players, and MP3 players. The trend that came up with these innovations was boosted on 2001 at October 23rd when Steve Jobs introduced the $399 Apple iPod. Apple iPod was released with a small shortcoming. This $400 iPod came with a pair of earphones valued at only $1. So, in terms of quality, you can imagine how poor they could have been. If you had an iPod those days, you might have experienced the quality of these $1 earphones. But you may remember, in those days, purchasing an iPod was a big deal. It was a high-end device because the Apple iPod was the latest tech gadget available in the market. However, the headphones that came with these had a big issue regarding quality. These earphones had a poor bass, mid-ranges were dull, and there were external noises. Comfortability-wise, these earphones also didn't fit the ear much. If you tilted a bit, these fell off. Since the buds were made of plastic, your ears started hurting when you were listening for some time. You might remember what I'm saying. However, Apple and Sony, the leading players in the market, focused on developing MP3 technology to enhance sound quality in these devices. But no matter how much the quality was improved, still, it had to be listened through the $1 headphones, and it's quite surprising these companies didn't have a problem with it. Then, who did actually have a problem with these cheap headphones? Music engineers said, in music recording, they were doing new things, big things, super mixes, and many more experiments, but people couldn't experience it in the same way because these low-quality headphones couldn't produce the same output. Sound engineers were putting in an excellent effort to produce new mixes, but the headphones couldn't replicate the same quality. If you are watching this video, there is a high chance you know who Dr. Dre is. Once, he said that these earphones were only good enough to test whether sound was working or not. Dr. Dre saw this as an insult to sound engineers. The reason is that they were working on producing quality music days and nights with a great passion. But because of these cheap headphones, they didn't get highlighted, nor were they appreciated. On the other hand, Dr. Dre saw a big business opportunity in this, to use for Apple iPods and Sony Walkmans, a premium headphone. In 2006, a well-known legend in the music industry, Jimmy Iovine, got to meet Luke Wood. Luke Wood was the CEO of Interscope Records, a famous American recording label. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss some of the challenges they faced in the music industry. One of the main problems in this period was music piracy. That means producing unauthorized duplicate copies of music. In simple terms, it's the use of the internet to free download music. Apart from this, Jimmy also had an issue with the quality of headphones in his mind. Jimmy promised Luke that he would definitely be working to find a solution for both of these issues. Jimmy gets a chance to find a solution to this problem at an unexpected moment, and it happens like this. One day, Jimmy was jogging on the beach and suddenly ran into Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre told Jimmy that his lawyer suggested an idea for him to sell sneakers. Jimmy understood this was a good chance and said, "Nobody in the world cares about how you dress or in your sneakers. What you should sell is speakers." Dr. Dre liked his idea very much because he was even unhappy about the headphones available on the market. Dr. Dre again asked Jimmy, "Can we really do that?" "Yeah," that was Jimmy's response. This conversation happened on the beach, led to the inception of the company that made a revolution in the headphones industry. Beats by Dr. Dre. Later, in 2006, Jimmy called his friend Luke Wood and informed him that Dr. Dre would start a headphones company to fill the gap in the market. Also, for loss because of music piracy, Jimmy said he had a solution for that as well in his mind. Jimmy and Dr. Dre made Luke Wood the CEO of Beats. Beats made a partnership with Monster Cable. Monster Cable was a top quality audio cable manufacturer at this time. After establishing the company in 2006, on 2008 at July 25th, they released the first Beats headphones, valued at $350, a premium price. You might remember that before Beats introduced their designs, headphones were only in two colors, either black or white. Otherwise, they were a mix of black and white. Beats completely changed this. Beats didn't want to make another pair of black or white headphones. Do you know which industry Beats grabbed the idea of creating colorful headphones from? They copied the idea from the sneaker industry, especially from Nike sneakers. Dr. Dre had a sneaker business idea. Maybe he used that idea for Beats. Beats was a colorful headphone, and they also made it a fashion accessory that people loved to wear. Companies like Nike have made a remarkable name in their industry by creating designs that are next level compared to others. The specialty they have done is that they have made their products become more than a necessity to people. Because Nike sneakers are not just another shoe brand, there's a separate business built around this sneaker. The significance of Nike is its unique style and unmatched fashion designs. Dr. Dre applied the same thing to Beats. He made this basic, uninspired necessity of headphones into a highly lovable fashion icon. Beats introduced a broad color palette and unique designs. During this time, the leading players in the headphone market were Sony and Bose, but they had only dull black and white headphones. In the meantime, Beats headphones were able to attract a new audience. Actually, Beats headphones and fashion, they built a strong connection between these two things. Beats brought fashion designs, iconography, and a new energy to the market. But remember, if Dr. Dre had copied the same headphones industry, Beats headphones would also have been in the same boring colors, black and white. He brought a different concept from another industry and applied it to headphones. But the main thing that made Beats so successful is something other than this. What was it? The target of Beats was a market no company had tapped then. Do you know, Beats were able to identify that Apple's $1 headphones had a major shortcoming, that is the lack of bass. So for the same reason, Beats tuned their headphone to have an exaggerated bass. So because of this reason, for anybody who hadn't used a professional high-end headphone when compared to Apple, Beats headphones sounded amazing. So, anyone who purchased Beats headphones recommended it to others without any hesitation. In 2008, a remarkable movement for Beats took place. This was the main reason for Beats' explosive growth in the next few years. In 2008, before leaving for the Beijing Olympics, NBA superstar LeBron James made a visit to Jimmy Iovine's office to discuss the progress of a documentary they had been working on. During the meeting, LeBron saw the newly released pair of Beats headphones. This instantly caught LeBron's attention. He asked Jimmy for a pair of headphones for the upcoming trip to China, which was for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Well, I don't need to explain basketball's place in America. LeBron requested 12 pairs of headphones for his whole team. At that time, the captain of the team was Kobe Bryant. This small request of LeBron was a defining moment that determined Beats' success as a company, because in an immediate moment, the USA team wore these headphones. Beats were the trendiest item in the market. Beats could be seen everywhere. NBA stars had Beats on their heads before every game. NFL stars wore Beats before their games, and tennis players wore them when entering the court. Not only that, world-class football players, Beats were everywhere in the sports world. This strategy was very much more effective than the spending on advertising. When people's role models and childhood heroes used Beats headphones in public, the idea that came from them was that if you want to be like me, buy a pair of Beats headphones like mine. Not only that, these headphones became very popular among celebrities as well. It became very trendy because Dr. Dre brought many celebrity endorsements to this brand. Justin Bieber had his own signature version. David Guetta shows his Beats headphones in his music videos. Before every tour, David Guetta received a signature version of Beats headphones. Lady Gaga was another star who received a signature version with heart buds. Not only that, Nicki Minaj received a pink color signature version, and Lil Wayne received diamond-encrusted headphones. Miley Cyrus, Wiz Khalifa, Ludacris, Pharrell Williams, Kylie Jenner, will.i.am, and Dr. Dre's list goes on and on. Dr. Dre's marketing strategy was more successful than he thought. Not only in America, but all around the world, celebrities having a pair of Beats on their head became a very common thing to see. In August 2011, Beats and HTC signed a $300 million deal. Do you remember HTC phones? There was a time in the smartphone market when HTC was one of the most prominent players. HTC bought 51% of Beats stakes and got the manufacturing rights from Beats. Sometimes you may remember that the HTC phone headset was a pair of Beats headsets. Also, HP and Beats collaborated to include Beats music in HP notebooks by granting HP manufacturing rights. For all music lovers around the world, Beats created a new era by establishing itself as a must-have music fashion accessory. But this is the specialty. Even though Beats was a fashionable accessory, its sound quality was also maintained well. However, they were not the best sounding headphones available because Sony and Bose had better sound quality than Beats. The average cost of producing Beats was around $20. The selling price was above $275. Their marketing strategies brought results to that extent. Beats didn't stop by only making headphones. Jimmy and Dr. Dre had another problem: music piracy. Jimmy had promised Luke that he would find a solution for it. But was Jimmy able to find a solution? In 2011, Beats introduced its first ever wireless headphones. The price was $279.99. With this, by the end of the year 2011, Beats in the premium headphone segment captured about 53% of the market share. The next biggest release was the first noise-cancelling headphone pair. It was Beats Executive. Even though Sony and Bose released their products, they didn't have a color palette like Beats. Still, their headphones were in a dull color range. Also, they didn't have any celebrity endorsement like Dr. Dre did. From the beginning, Jimmy tried to find a solution to the issue of music piracy. Dr. Dre and Jimmy didn't stop only making headphones. In July 2012, they bought a company called MOG, a music service company, for $14 million. MOG was an on-the-go music streaming service and blog network. They had a library of about 15 million songs. In the meantime, in 2013, a majority shareholder of Beats, HTC, was facing a serious financial crisis, so they focused more on the smartphone business and let go of Beats by selling it back to its original owners. They decided to sell Beats shares back to Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, but that's only for $265 million. Initially, HTC bought Beats shares for $309 million, but sold them back for only $265 million. That means this buyback from Beats made a profit of $45 million. Not only that, but they also gained complete ownership of the company. 2013 was another super lucky year for Beats. One of the American private equity companies, the Carlyle Group, made a massive $500 million investment in Beats. This investment gave Beats a big boost in growth. Within a short period, they developed to a state where Beats Company's value exceeded $3 billion. Using this investment and through research and development in January 2013, Beats launched a new app. That was the Beats Music app. It was a music streaming app which aimed to build an incomparable platform that gave users superior sound quality, actually to become better than Spotify and Pandora. With this new launch, Beats entirely stopped the previously purchased MOG streaming service. By this time, Beats had a 57% market share in the headphone market. However, the launch of the Beats Music app created a turning point for Beats. Was it really a good move for Beats, or was it a big mistake Dr. Dre did? Apple's low-quality earphones were a big reason why Beats came along this journey. With the release of the Apple iPod, the music world was revolutionized, and Beats identified the opportunity created. However, Apple was not worried about this because even though their low-priced headphones sold little, their other products were racking up billions in profits. So, Apple didn't have headphones as a priority. Luckily for Beats, Apple didn't see them as a competitor, but Beats got caught on Apple's radar before it was too long. The reason was that with the Beats Music app launch, many people were getting used to music streaming. By this time, Apple had its iTunes. In iTunes, music had to be purchased separately, one by one. However, because of these streaming apps, iTunes music purchases drastically dried up. This was not only because of the Beats Music app. Apps like Spotify were also a reason. So, iTunes was down the list of music streaming services. Steve Jobs didn't think that music streaming services would have a significant demand. Instead, he felt that people, rather than renting, would like to purchase songs one by one separately. However, after Steve, the next CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, saw this from a different perspective. He saw how Beats used the business concept Apple introduced and how they built $1 billion business. You know, Apple is not a company that wants to be second to any other. There is no reason for them to be second because Apple is the world's biggest tech company. Because of this, to regain control of the music streaming market, Apple planned to acquire Beats Company. That is for $3 billion. Initially, people saw it as a controversial acquisition of Apple. And also, Apple didn't like seeing their customers in Beats headphones. They wanted Apple users to use Apple headphones. But hold on, before this acquisition took place, Apple came across an unexpected situation. That was this video of Dr. Dre.
Billionaire Boys Club for real, homie. Huh?
Yeah,
Fix
you
your
know
face.
that.
Fix your face.
You know that.
Oh, shit. The Forbes list just changed. They need, hey, it came out like 2 weeks ago. They need to update the Forbes
it?
list. Shit just changed.
In a big way.
Oh, my.
Understand that. Oh my. The first billionaire in hip hop, right here from the motherfucking West Coast. Believe it.
Oh, shit.
When Dr. Dre got the message of this acquisition, he called his homies and celebrated it. Not only that, but one of his close friends, Tyrese, recorded it and shared it on Facebook. What Dr. Dre was saying was he claimed to be the first hip-hop billionaire. This video brought in a slight glitch to this contract. Apple was not happy about this video since it went viral on Facebook. However, Apple proceeded with the acquisition for $3 billion. Until today, Apple's biggest acquisition is Beats. Both parties considered this as a win-win situation. Also, this acquisition of Beats ended an era of Beats headphones and Beats music. But why don't we hear or see about Beats, as we used to hear about them? After this acquisition, within a short period, the Beats Music app was rebranded as the famous Apple Music. They made a system for Beats Music users to transfer to Apple Music easily. Beats Music was stopped here. For Apple, this was a purchase that brought many benefits. They acquired a significant share in the streaming space and also entered the previously lacking headphone market with a substantial share. In 2016, Apple took off the jack from headphones. By doing so, they encouraged users towards wireless headphones. In September 2016, they released Beats Solo 3 and Powerbeats Free Wireless Earphone. Both came with Apple's W chip, and Apple devices were easily connected. In 2017, they introduced the Studio Free line, in 2021 Studio Buds line, and in 2023 they introduced the Studio Pro line. This was a little different from others. Anyone outside the Apple ecosystem was also able to use the headphone. In terms of quality, as tech YouTubers like Marques Brownlee say, it is at a standard level. However, did you really know about these releases? Mostly not. Why? Because they were very silent releases. The latest releases were Beats Solo 4 and the redesigned Beats Pill. There was a period when their releases were very silent. One big reason was that Beats limited their celebrity endorsements to a great extent. But around 2022, Beats started collaborating with celebs, gaining back popularity. They recently collaborated with Kim Kardashian for Beats Studio Pro and Beats Pills. They held a fake competition between Kim Kardashian and Jimmy Fallon to promote a collaboration for Beats Studio Pro. But do you like the colors they introduced? Kim's collaboration was for a range of brown color headphones. Compared to the color palette Beats previously had, don't they look very dull? Share your thoughts about it. Luckily, Jim didn't win the poll because it was mustard colored, inspired by his love for hot dogs. It was mainly the color and design that made Beats the Nike in the headphones industry. However, the current versions are not very different from those of their competitors. There was another collaboration between Beats and Minecraft for Beats Solo 4, which again had a very moderate receipt. For the comeback of Beats Pills, they did a campaign with iconic Beats ambassador LeBron James and hip-hop star Lil Wayne. Also, they have sports icons such as Lionel Messi and Shohei Ohtani on their ambassador list, especially to promote Beats Pills. But let me ask you this question. Do you feel the same excitement for these products? If Beats were in the hands of Dr. Dre, this would have been entirely different because they always tried to keep the excitement high in the market. Also, the color range would have been more exciting and broader. Let me tell you the other side of the story. Even though Apple releases Beats products, their main focus is given on how to develop AirPods. Beats has got a back seat in Apple, and Beats has been imaged as a second option for consumers. On one hand, introduction of AirPods was a big reason for the downfall of Beats in the market. AirPods Pro and AirPods Max was also impacted a lot. Actually, it seems like Apple is trying to keep Beats hidden over their products. In 2016, once AirPods were released, there was a massive sale for them. Apple AirPods can be named another successful Apple product. In 2018, they sold more than 35 million units of AirPods. In 2019, that number further doubled to 60 million units. This is a revenue of about $6 billion only from AirPods. In 2024, this revenue skyrocketed to $25 billion. AirPods are a top-rated product today. There are several reasons for this. They have a compact design, user-friendliness, seamless connectivity, and more. Also, they have great reviews, especially regarding sound quality and battery life. So, Apple selling this product in millions is not a surprise because AirPods is another product that has revolutionized the headphones market. But there is this one thing. If Apple hadn't acquired Beats, Apple introducing this product this early would have been more challenging. Apple is the #1 player in the headphones market, with a market share of about twice as much as Beats. Their strategy has paid them off already. What about Beats, the brand we loved so much? Even when they release new products, they are not as popular as they used to be. Apple is investing a low amount in the research and development of Beats. However, one thing is obvious. In 2013, Apple foresaw a threat and they took it off before it was too late. Anyway, we will see what will happen to Beats in the future. But let me know your preference. A fashionable headphone like Beats with a wide color range, that is used as a stylish accessory. Or, despite what color it is, sound quality and comfortability focused headphones? Let me know in the comments. So, we have reached the end of this documentary. If you liked it, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Before quitting this video, there is another exciting story about GoPro. You can watch it now by clicking this thumbnail. We'll meet up there soon.